On 3 cases from Miami Beach, more than $70,000 worth of currency and Rolex watches were stolen, along with credit cards. Detectives say this man with long red hair, 33-year-old Decorian Greer of Miami, have a history of targeting victims for Rolex watches like these. Well, Diana in Ruta Bay, Andrea Banks is arrested after some quick work by police. A relief, no doubt, to the victim, a New York man who lost nearly $500,000 worth of jewelry and cash. Now, police, when they went to Banks's home, they may have been surprised by what they saw. Police say when they met 35-year-old Andrea Banks at her Aventura condo, she was wearing a custom-made S pendant around her neck. The same pendant seen on this apparently bold Instagram post. Banks is now charged with stealing that item along with more than $480,000 worth of jewelry. El Harbor police say a Miami Beach police detective recognized Banks while reviewing surveillance tape from the Bellini condo. So Banks remains right here at the TGK Correctional Center. She's charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling and first-degree grand theft. We did reach out to the victim, but a family member told us they were not commenting.
Have you ever been in the grocery store in the frozen section getting a 4-pound bag of party wings, and after you grab the party wings, you pop your head up and you see somebody and you say to yourself, damn, they look familiar. I know them from somewhere, I just can't remember the somewhere I know they ass from. The mystery is just driving you crazy. You want answers, so you finally gather up the bravery to walk up on they familiar looking ass and you ask them, hey, you know a dude named Leroy that work at Amazon? And he tell you, hell nah, who the hell is Leroy? And you just walk off like nothing happened at all. That was the case for this news reporter. He was looking, staring, focused, and asking himself, is that Leroy that work at Amazon? He looks even closer and he says, I'll be damned. That is Leroy that work at Amazon.
History of targeting victims for
facing felony theft charges.
Banks, who used to be known as Decorian Dwayne Greer.
I can't believe it. I haven't seen him in over 2 years. So much has changed. And the changes were so crazy and scary, he ain't even want to talk to Leroy. He just walked away and he prayed to God that Leroy didn't notice him. One thing about people gonna change over the years. Sometime it be their personality that change. Oh my God, what happened to you? You're not the same person. Sometime it be their gender. Like damn, you are literally not the same person. You see, when this news reporter reported on Leroy for the first time, he thought whoever was the victim of this crime made an honest mistake. The news reporter was thinking the victim of this crime didn't know Leroy had an Adam's apple. The news reporter was thinking the victim of this crime was bamboozled and tricked into believing that Leroy was L'Oreal. That made the news reporter angry because he was tricked before by somebody similar to Leroy. So the news reporter said to himself, we gotta stop this madness. It's too many men in Miami getting tricked by Leroys. I'ma put Leroy on blast and I'ma let the fellas know to stay away from this man. I'ma need the fellas to pay close attention to the goddamn neck. So he made the report and he put Leroy on blast, but the news reporter didn't know he wasn't hurting Leroy's scheme, he was actually helping it. That news report was made to slander Leroy, but instead it advertised Leroy. You see, the city of Miami is jam-packed with certified freaks that love Leroy's behind closed doors. After that news report, Leroy's Backpage account started jumping through the goddamn roof. But the news reporter ain't know nothing of Leroy's success because Leroy's success had to be kept private. Because the clientele Leroy had wanted to keep their business with Leroy a secret. So for 2 years, the news reporter was thinking that he ended Leroy's legacy because he ain't hear nothing about it until one day a goddamn report came across his desk. And guess who the report was about? Leroy. The news reporter couldn't believe it. He was flabbergasted and heartbroken because he realized the victims of those crimes Leroy was committing, them victims was not out of the know. They knew Leroy had an Adam's apple and they liked it. That news reporter hung his mic up that day. He was so heartbroken and traumatized, he couldn't see himself reporting on the news no more. He didn't want to run the risk of having to report on another Leroy story. Just the thought of him reporting on another Leroy story damn near gave him a heart attack.
Stop.
I will never forget the day when I said to myself, you know what? It's about time for me to get the hell off Facebook. This dude I went to high school with named Roderick, he had a transition, but I ain't know nothing about it. So I'm on Facebook and this picture of this random girl I never seen before just popped up on my timeline. So I'm looking at the photo like, who the hell is this? Who the hell is Saloni? And when did me and Saloni become friends on Facebook? So my nosy ass clicked on the page and started profile snooping. First thing I noticed, we had like 90 mutual friends. Okay, me and Saloni, we know a lot of the same people. Then I seen some pictures with Saloni and a girl named Laura. You see, Laura is Roderick's sister. So I'm like, okay, there go Laura and Saloni, but where the hell is Roderick? And that's when I realized, I'll be damned, Saloni is Roderick. That was 2 years ago, and I haven't been on Facebook ever since. Just like this news reporter, he hasn't reported on any more news ever since the Leroy situation. It's funny how Leroy changing who he is made this news reporter change careers. You know what really be tripping me out? Tinder. Sometimes I be on Tinder getting my swipe on, and out of nowhere a Leroy would pop up on my options. Got me double checking my preferences, like hold the hell up, I did not prefer this. Why is this one of the options they gave me to swipe right or left on? I felt very disrespected by Tinder. I felt violated by Tinder. When that happened to me, it made me scared of Tinder because it's easy to get bamboozled. I couldn't run the risk, so I had to get the hell off Tinder. And I don't got a problem with Leroy's. That's just not my lane. I'm over here living my best life, and the Leroy's are over there living their best life. I know this one dude who got bamboozled by a Leroy. Well, he didn't get bamboozled, he got exposed. So one day, this dude named RJ was on Facebook just going in on Leroy's, calling them out their names, just making it seem like Leroy's are terrible people who don't need to be around kids. And out of nowhere, in the midst of his rant, a Leroy posted like 5 pictures of RJ arching his back. So now we looking at RJ like, RJ, how did this Leroy get these pictures of you arching your back? The Leroy gonna tell us RJ sent them photos to her. She did a screen recording video verifying it was RJ's number that sent her the photos. I ain't seen or heard from RJ ever since. And one thing I noticed about these crimes, they rarely show the photo of the suspect in the news report. I wonder why. Is the suspect ashamed of themselves? They don't want the world to know they was tricking with a Leroy and got robbed? I wouldn't want my identity associated with a crime like that either. That's a hell of a crime to be a victim of. He probably filled out his police report with a ski mask on. No face, no case type ish. But in this case, there is a case. Just no face. Hiding from the world. Ashamed of your damn self. You allow a Leroy to get over on you. You'll never be able to live this down.